Right now on Apple Valley News Now, special edition at 4. Did local fire crews get turned away when they hit the California state line to help aid in the California fire emergency? We're on your side and getting answers. Plus,
firefighters are gaining ground on the Southern California wildfires. I'm ABC's Melissa Adon with the details on what conditions look like and the new threat from high wind warnings this week.
also ahead, a Dayton family is desperate to find a missing man. And Stacy is here.
Well, we had a little bit of sunshine and a full moon tonight. Will we be able to see it? I'll give you those answers coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now, special edition, on your side.
And a very good afternoon. Welcome to this early edition of Apple Valley News Now. Before Monday Night Football, I'm Austin Reed. Wendy Redman will join me after the game. Over the weekend, rumors were spread online claiming that our local fire units were being turned away in California because they did not pass the state's emissions tests. But is it true? Apple Valley News Now is on your side by getting the answers you need. According to Benton County Fire District 1, the rumors are just that, rumors. Spokeswoman Jenna Roberts says every truck was inspected before being sent to the front lines. But it's only because they are getting mechanical inspections to see if repairs are needed.
One of the things that I want to really emphasize is how grateful we are that CAL FIRE provides that resource to check our trucks before they go into a fire zone. We didn't send a mechanic with our crew. We just sent firefighters. There's always going to be rumors and misinformation. We were aware that our firefighters had gotten through that mechanical inspection.
BCFD1 is reminding everyone to not believe everything you see on TikTok or other social media outfits. In the meantime, this is a new video from our local fire crews down south. For instance, BCFD1 started working 24-hour shifts on Saturday morning. They are assigned to the Palisades fire, providing structure protection and structure triage. Crews had a day off on Sunday, but were back at it again by this morning.
Yeah, they're down there. They're working. You know, they got there Friday night, went right to work. We didn't send a mechanic with our crew. We just sent firefighters. And so being able to have that resource to double and triple check to make sure that our crews are going to be as safe as possible before they head into an active fire gives us a great peace of mind.
BCFD1 isn't the only local crew helping. Franklin County Fire District 3 sent one firefighter along with Walla Walla County Fire District 5. The heroes left on Thursday morning and will be there for another at least week and a half. Crews are racing to gain the upper hand on the raging wildfires down in Southern California before the winds kick up again. Right now, a red flag warning is expected to last until Wednesday. ABC's Melissa Adon is in the fire zone with the latest.
The destruction in these neighborhoods just goes on for miles. The Eaton fire is considered Southern California's most destructive wildfire. And sadly, 24 people have lost their lives and more than a dozen are missing from both of these two active wildfires burning in Los Angeles County as this fire threat continues.
Calmer winds over the weekend allowed crews to put out hot spots and fight the fires from the air. You can see the containment line, a red line, fire retardant helping keep the flames at bay, the burn area inside still smoldering. But today, new red flag and high wind warnings are in place for much of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour now in the forecast Tuesday and Wednesday. The National Weather Service issuing a PDS, or particularly dangerous situation warning.
The anticipated winds combined with low humidities and low fuel moistures will keep the fire threat in all of Los Angeles County critical.
Officials have not yet determined causes of any of these fires.
None have been ruled out of arson. There are ongoing investigations.
We have a very big problem. Some Altadena residents recording video as they escaped the fires last week. Beyond the tree line, that's an electrical transmission tower. Another shows what appears to be a fire at the base of the same transmission tower. Edison International saying it hasn't seen evidence of involvement of its equipment in the Eaton fire, but that they haven't yet been allowed by fire authorities to inspect the site.
Typically, when there's a spark created by equipment, you will see that kind of electrical anomaly. We haven't seen seen that.
A dusk to dawn curfew in place to protect homes from looters. There have already been some 36 arrests.
The criminals have decided that this is an opportunity, and I'm here to tell you that this is not an opportunity. You will be arrested.
LA officials, from the mayor to the fire chief, saying they're better prepared for this round of Santa Ana winds this week, saying they have sufficient resources from local firefighters, other states, and even countries, and have already pre-positioned strike teams. Melissa Don, ABC News, Altadena, California.
Melissa, thank you. Back here at home, let's talk local weather now as we have made it to a new week. First Alert, Stacey Lee joining us live in our weather center with what's ahead. Hi there, Stacey.
Hey, Austin. Yeah, different week weather-wise here. Pretty quiet, pretty calm, but we did see some sunshine today. Clouds starting to move back in. We have the perfect setup for that inversion layer once again. Right now, 39 degrees on our Legends Casino Skycam. Our sunset at 4:35. Winds light at 7 miles per hour. Here's the setup. We've got cold air filtering down from Canada. Although we're staying warm during the day, it's the evening temps that get cold. Very cold, though, as you get into the Midwest and the East Coast. Temperatures tonight will be below freezing all through the area. We're in the upper 20s here along the foothills of the Blues into the Columbia Basin, mid-20s in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley. So protect the pipes, the plants, and the pets. Remember the 3 Ps going forward. Tomorrow out the door, very cold, where we could see some early morning fog, hopefully not, clearing up with some sun breaks once again. So cold sunshine hopefully on the way for us tomorrow afternoon. Just to recap, more low clouds and fog in the forecast. Mild and dry this week. We're going to have those freezing overnight lows several days, and we get even colder as we get into the weekend. We do have a full moon tonight. Are we going to be able to see it? I'll tell you more coming up. Austin?
Stacey, we appreciate that. Developing tonight, the Columbia County Sheriff's Office needs your help locating a missing man. Officials say Henry Wayne Mitchell has been missing since November of last year. He headed into the mountains near Patrick's Grade and Canyon Campground just outside of Dayton. Mitchell's niece says it wasn't like him to not let his family know where he was heading, leading the family to worry sick.
My mother-in-law her and her brother were very close, like super close. It was so bad. My mother-in-law got sick after Wayne went missing, and she let herself go. We almost lost her around Christmas time. She was pneumonia and septic because she just so worried about her brother. She didn't even take care of herself.
CCSO teamed up with the Walla Walla County Sheriff's Office, College Place Police, and Washington State Fish and Wildlife, among other departments, to search for the man. If you know anything, call authorities. A father and his 2 sons stopped a man who pulled out a gun at a bar in the Richland Uptown area. RPD says it happened early Sunday morning. When officers got there, they found a convicted felon was being held after he threatened bar customers. The suspect was also found to have a fanny pack containing drugs, including fentanyl and cash. He got arrested and is now in jail for multiple charges. The investigation will continue. Let's head to Yakima, where the Yakima County Sheriff's Office has an outdated, glitchy communication system, but they are hoping to replace it. The sheriff says some equipment over 30 years old often cannot connect to other law enforcement agencies and sometimes fails to work at all. That's why they are pushing for a digital system that would give them better coverage. It would also allow agencies to communicate day to day and during large-scale emergencies like a school shooting.
The police just want to push the button and talk, and this system will allow to do it. If we're successful in our bid to get that financing, it's going to change. Faster responses. We're going to do better things when we get there.
Coming up after the game, more about the proposed new system and how law enforcement across the county plan to pay for it. Well, the city hired Mabton police chief in December, but the sheriff's office says without a background check, he was unable to carry a badge and gun until the paperwork came through last week. The sheriff's office also investigating a complaint made to Washington State Patrol about who may have had access to their online criminal system in the 24 hours that Mabton was without any police. That case resolved with no findings, but investigators say they still don't know if the mayor or anyone else accessed physical evidence within the building, which could cause problems later on.
Period of unknown that can cast doubt. And juries are very good. I mean, they'll say, okay, and a lot of that stuff goes away. And if some evidence goes away, a lot of times so is the case.
The next Mabton City Council meeting is set for tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Turning to a crime alert, the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office arrests 3 people after a drive-by shooting over the weekend. It happened Saturday around 2 a.m. Authorities say witnesses reported hearing gunshots at a home near Bridge Road and Westland Road. Deputies say they found evidence at the scene. They were later called back to the same home around 3:30 a.m. for more gunshots. Witnesses this time were able to give a description of the suspected gunman's car, and authorities found a car matching that description on Powerline Road. Alexis Aguilar and Harvey Torres, both 18 and from Umatilla, and 19-year-old Abraham Denez of Aragon, are facing charges in the drive-by shooting. Authorities say it appears the shooting was targeted. New this afternoon from the Benton County Sheriff's Office, deputies have been responding to numerous reports of vehicle prowls in the Findlay area. Deputies say unknown suspects are attempting to steal items in cars, so they are asking locals to secure your vehicles when away from them and do not keep valuable items inside. They are also advising people to keep their driveways well lighted during night hours. And the Yakima Training Center is asking Moxie residents along the southern border to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity where individuals have driven around barriers to access the installation. Officials say people trespassing onto the installation cause a danger to themselves and possibly to training units. Roads in that area were made for all-terrain military vehicles, not your average pickup truck. And as you can see here, trespassers have gotten stuck or even totaled their vehicles. So if you see anything suspicious now, call the Yakima County Sheriff's Office. This special edition is just getting started. Still ahead, will Kohl's be shutting down locally? Also, the Mid-Columbia Arts Center wants to hear from you this week. We'll tell you why. And Stacy returns with your full First Alert weather forecast. Stay with us.
When you need legal help for your injuries, you don't need hassles. You need someone who knows his way around the courtroom. If you've been injured and want to know what your rights are, call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters and every path leads to new possibilities. Get $5,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners and lessees get an additional $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase. See your community Chevy dealers.
Welcome to Fable Craft Bar, your next favorite place to experience. Be inspired by our stylish and locally crafted culinary delights. Join us Tuesdays for all-you-can-eat fish and chips, weekend brunch and football, Bookwalter wines, local beer, and signature cocktails. Savor the flavors of our delicious food to captivate your senses. Fable Craft Bar, stop for a bite, or bring delicious home with Uber Eats or DoorDash. 1705 Columbia Park Trail.
Life's too short to put up with a bad bank. You have a life, places to go, people to see, and things to get done. You don't have time for banks or credit unions that don't care. You deserve better. At Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, we've served Central Washington and the Columbia Basin since 1905 with 10 branches, face-to-face service, and a 5-star app when you're on the go. So go have fun. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short to put up with anything less. Bank better with Yakima Federal.
America's freeways are the most advanced in the world. Our highways are safer than anywhere else. But even the safest freeways cannot prevent accidents from happening. Allen Brecky Law Offices represent accident and injury victims.
Vikings, Rams, Wild Card. Pre-game 4:30 tonight. Apple Valley News Now.
In the Art Beat today, your chance to learn more about the Mid-Columbia Performing Arts Center in Richland. It happens this week. This Wednesday evening, the public is invited to discover how the new Performing Arts Center will enrich the Tri-Cities. This is your opportunity to learn about the vision for the new state-of-the-art center, its benefits to the community, and how you can play a role in making it a reality. Officials say that every year, Tri-Cities residents spend money traveling to other cities for arts and entertainment, so this Performing Arts Center will help keep those dollars right here.
Well, we have been working for years to advocate for seeing a new Performing Arts Center built here in the Tri-Cities, and that is closer than it has ever been, with a pending ballot measure for citizens of Richland coming up in February. And so we thought it would be helpful for those citizens if we met with them a couple of times before that ballot to give them more information.
All right, so the community information session is set for this Wednesday, January 15th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's inside the Richland Public Library and at the Doris Roberts Gallery. The event is free and open to everyone. We have a consumer news headline for you tonight. Kohl's is closing 27 stores across more than a dozen states as it looks to improve profitability. No Washington state stores are impacted, and only one in Oregon will close, but it's all the way over in Portland. The closures are expected to be complete by April. They are a small fraction of the struggling retailers' more than 1,100 stores and were listed as underperforming. The move is one of the latest decisions by the outgoing CEO. Now, he is being replaced next week by Ashley Buchanan, chief executive of arts and crafts chain Michaels. And Walmart shoppers may soon notice a little change to the company's logo. Take a look. Walmart unveiled its redesigned logo today. It's been nearly 20 years since the company has made changes. It's got a chunkier and bolder front and font compared to the previous one. Walmart says the revamp was inspired by founder Sam Walton's old trucker hat. This month, you will see the updated logo on the website and app. Walmart's new look arrives as business is booming for the big box retailer. The company said its profit grew 8% in the last quarter.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
Well, let's talk about that weather. Dust Devil Sky Cam in Pasco. We do see that layer of clouds, but you can still see a little bit of sun out in the distance. Was a nice change today. 39 degrees, humidity levels up there, which means we could have some low clouds and fog developing tonight. Winds light at 7 miles per hour. Here's the weather pattern for the next couple of days. A whole lot of nothing. Ridge of high pressure basically sitting on top of us, and that's going to keep us dry. But the cold air continues to stream down from the north. All we have on Futurecast is maybe a few clouds lingering. So look for some of our common places to have the low clouds and fog settle down. That would be in the Columbia Basin area, tends to happen, and in the foothills along the east slopes of the Cascade Mountains, Ellensburg area into Yakima. So fog is possible, and our temperatures are going to be on the chilly side. So again, be looking for freezing fog in the morning. If you were lucky enough to check out the moon yesterday, it wasn't quite full. It was full today officially at 2:27 p.m. Pacific time, January 13th. It's called the Wolf Moon, and it's our first full moon of 2025. Again, you might be able to see it if those clouds will move out of the way through Wednesday. It was pretty spectacular where I was yesterday up at White Pass. Let's talk about tonight. Mostly cloudy with patchy freezing fog in the area in the region. There's those temperatures, though, very chilly. Everybody in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley sitting under that freezing level in the upper 20s. So cold. Things are going to get colder as we get closer to the weekend and into early next week. Columbia Basin looking very cold as well. Hermiston at 29, Prosser 28, 27 in the Tri-Cities, and a chilly 26 for Connell and Moses Lake. Foothills of the Blues just a little bit warmer, but again, chilly temperatures there. Now, everything is going to stay pretty quiet. However, if we do see some wind, we should be able to get rid of the fog and low clouds. Here's your temperature trend. We trend down for a couple of days. We bump up slightly on Thursday, and this is where we're going to start seeing temperatures drop into that really chilly. This is where we could see overnight lows in the teens with those daytime temperatures. Very, very cold. Here's what it looks like the next couple of days. Again, in the early morning hours, a good 10 to 15 degrees cooler than normal. 15 to 20 degrees is what we're going to see in the Yakima Valley. Again, those teen temperatures even possible here in the Columbia Basin and the Blue Mountains and foothills. So very chilly weather on the way. Taking a look at our 7-day planning forecast, there's your 30-degree temps. That little spike on Thursday. Overnight lows, though, staying chilly. Weekend looking sunny, but chilly. Look at the overnight lows on Martin Luther King Monday morning, 19 degrees possible. In Yakima, we're going to stay down in the 20s overnight, 30s and 40s daytime, with temperatures in the teens as we again get into Sunday, Monday. That's when that cold Arctic air spills down from Canada. Ellensburg also pretty stable, fog possible and freezing fog with those temperatures below the freezing level. You'll see those teen temperatures start to peak in on Saturday night into Sunday into Monday. Here's Walla Walla. Again, those temperatures staying in the 30s, overnight lows 20s. More teens on the way. This will be the coldest streak we have seen since we had a little cold snap in December, but it's been relatively mild. So other than a little bit of cold weather, we don't see a bunch of moisture coming our way. So
my mom, I was with her this morning. She walked outside and she's like, oh, I have a little bit of ice on the car.
There you go. Ice scraper. That's the thing.
Yeah. All right, Stacey, thank you. We've got the spotlight up next.